Let's deal with the question people keep circling without quite landing on. If Rupert Lowe and Ben Habib joined forces at Advance, could they actually take on reform? Short answer, yes. Long answer, only if they stop behaving like online personalities and start acting like a political organization. Right now, Reform UK dominates this space by default, not because it's perfect, but because it has the machinery. Candidates, compliance, mailing lists, council footholds. That infrastructure matters. Elections aren't won on vibes. But here's where the ground starts to shift. Ben Habib brings something the right doesn't have much of at the moment. Institutional credibility without chaos. He understands law, sovereignty, and how power actually operates. That reassures voters who agree with reform's instincts but are exhausted by drama. Rupert Lowe brings something else entirely. Energy, reach, the ability to mobilize frustration. He speaks to people who feel ignored and patronized. That's volatile fuel, but fuel nonetheless. Put them together under Advance UK, and suddenly reform is facing a challenger it hasn't really had before. Not a protest splinter, not a meme, a serious alternative in incubation. Does that mean Advance beats reform tomorrow? No. Anyone claiming that is confusing politics with social media timelines. Reform still owns the infrastructure. Advance would be lean, selective, and patient. But here's the part many reform supporters are starting to worry about. Reform doesn't need to be defeated to be weakened. It can trip itself. Look at the gripes coming from inside the base right now. One major issue is defections. Reform pitched itself as the anti-establishment break from the Tory machine. So when familiar Conservative figures start drifting in, some supporters don't see experience. They see dilution. The question keeps surfacing. Are we becoming the thing we said we were replacing? That creates identity confusion. Not among critics, among loyal voters. Then there's credibility versus authenticity. Supporters understand professionalism matters, but they didn't sign up for career politicians looking for a lifeboat. When that perception grows, trust doesn't explode. It just leaks, quietly. Add to that the discipline problem, public rows, personality clashes, internal disputes playing out online. Voters notice when a party can't manage its own house. It reinforces the sense of instability. And finally, readiness fatigue. Reform voters agree with the direction on immigration, law and order, and sovereignty. The frustration isn't the instinct. It's the preparation. Too many slogans. Not enough evidence of how this survives courts, bureaucracy, and reality. People aren't asking for results yet. They're asking if the party is ready to deliver when the moment comes. None of this destroys reform overnight, but it creates openings. This is where Advance becomes dangerous without even trying to be. If one movement looks noisy and reactive, and another looks calm and structured, voters don't need convincing. They drift. Advance wouldn't need a frontal assault. The smart play would be attrition, build credibility, recruit selectively, let reform keep stumbling, then be standing there when people start asking if there's another option. Political movements don't usually collapse because someone beats them. They collapse because supporters stop defending them with enthusiasm. So yes, a Habib-Lowe alliance could take on reform, not by outshouting it, by outlasting it. And whether that happens comes down to one thing above all else: ego control. Because the fastest way to kill this opportunity would be a public civil war over who's the real patriot. That's how movements eat themselves while convincing themselves they're winning. This isn't about splitting the right. It's about whether it grows up. And the next year will tell us exactly which path it chooses.